Your academy for spiritual awakening.
David, one of the many questions that's come along is why do people not heal? What's at the source of suffering?
Lack of knowledge. You know, without a vision, the people perish. Well, without a vision of truly identity and who they are, they get sick.
Okay.
Because they allow themselves to think sick thoughts, and sick thoughts becomes sickness and illness in the body.
Mm-hmm.
So again, as in the West, we tend to deal with symptoms, you know, rather than trying to put an axe at the root of the tree, it says,
Okay.
which means cause. So we have to go back to understanding that, again, healing comes back to the mind itself, healing our perception of ourselves as lesser than what we've been created to be.
So does that go back to some of the ideas I've heard you talk about blockages that are kind of in our way of our healing?
Yeah, blockages can start, now if you're a person that believes in past lives, whether you do or don't, that's fine. But if you do, then you got to realize you kind of inherit a karmic debt of unfinished issues that you've skirted, which you can do because everything's free will. So either you choose to deal with your issues, and what I mean is abuse or abandonment or those kind of deep emotional things.
Guilt or shame.
Yeah, you can choose to bury it or you can choose to confront it and heal it. Well, most of us didn't because we didn't even have a religious system that really taught us how to go to the level of cause. They just wanted to heal us.
Yes.
You know, be healed.
Yes.
You know, in Jesus' name, that type of thing. That's what I was raised with. It was like magic happening. And they didn't teach us the process of how healing an effect is by changing the cause.
Okay.
So that's become popular more now. There's more of that called energy work, people that are dealing with healing the mind, healing the body. But that took a long time for it to take a hold. I was raised in a very religious atmosphere. Tulsa, Oklahoma was known for, it was the oil capital and the Oral Roberts. Mm-hmm. So I was drug around to all these healing campaigns. And I just had a different way of looking at things. Even as a child, I couldn't understand this God that I'd been taught, who loves us all the same and was no respecter of persons. And I watched some people get healed and not others.
Okay.
Now, again, you know that's coming from something that I brought in because what child would even think such a thing? But I could understand why would God heal this person and totally ignore another person. And that planted a seed in my mind that followed me for decades and decades. And then I got into more metaphysical type things of, instead of just healing, it was about manifesting more finance, a good partner in your life, the right job. Again, I saw some manifested,
right?
Some didn't manifest.
Right.
So the same pattern is showing up. And then when I got into understanding more about everything is energy, I realized that people don't heal because they don't have the energy beyond their survival level to heal with.
Okay.
And the simple analogy of that would be by faith you write out a check for $10,000 hoping that by faith it's going to happen, but there's no $10,000 in the bank, so it's insufficient fund, doesn't go through.
Okay.
So I realized that people needed to be connected to what I call universal source, and that we needed to tap into that energy, our spirit beyond ourselves that we use every day. See, I need money every day to function, to have my groceries, pay my rent, car payment, all the things I need to do to survive in this 3D world. I need that. I can't do without that. Then all of a sudden the doctor tells me I've got an illness, I've got a sickness, or something happens, I lose my job, and I'm going, I've got to manifest a healing, I've got to, so, and I'm praying and I'm praying and I'm praying, oh God, do this, oh God, do that. Then it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
You and I believe people come to me and said, I prayed, I fasted, I did everything, and it didn't happen. What's wrong with me? Where's God?
Right.
Well, nothing's wrong with you, and it's not God. It's the fact that you had not learned how to tap in to that energy spirit beyond what you needed to survive with.
Okay.
So I taught people through the years, for many years, how they can tap into that universal source of energy. It's like marching them down to the International World Bank and saying, let's make a deposit, put it in your checking account. Now you can write out the check and it won't be insufficient fund. So insufficient fund means not healed, not manifested. Mm-hmm. Don't have anything to back it up. You got to manifest a healing out of something. You got to manifest more finance out of something. And if you're not tapped into the something, then it's not going to manifest. It's nobody's fault. It's just divine law. It's just universal law that works for us. I could be an artist and have a great painting in my mind, but if I don't have the paint and the easel, it's going to stay in my mind and it's not going to be put out.
Okay.
So we really need to realize that people don't heal is nobody's fault other than the fact they've not been taught how to access the spirit energy behind it to create the healing, to create the manifestation.
It feels like what you've said so far is that a lot of the lack of healing comes from not having dealt with some of our karmic things, the traumas of our life, or the self-judgment or the shame. And once we deal with that on some level, we can access more easily divine healing or universal life force energy to assist us in our healing.
Exactly. It's just all about learning how to access the source of energy, which everything is. In other words, how can you have the finances unless you manifest energy as finance? How can you have the healing from the disease unless you have energy to manifest it as the healing?
Okay. Thank you.
Your Academy for Spiritual Awakening.